The regular scheduled committee of the whole meeting for November 21st, 2024, and I'd like to ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Francis,
Here.
Councilmember Smiley,
Here.
Councilmember Marsh,
Here.
Councilmember Crabtree,
Here.
Councilmember Craig,
Here.
Councilmember Martin,
Here.
Councilmember Wilcox, Councilmember Meek,
Here.
Councilmember Lumberger,
Here.
Councilmember Keel,
Here.
Councilmember Bell,
Here.
Councilmember Handy.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Everybody, please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. The minutes of the October 17 meeting was in your packet. Everybody have a chance to review those, and we'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
We got Don and Amy. Any discussion? All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? All right. Jumping right into administrative matters. Our favorite HWA with the high quality H2O,
That's right.
Derek Watson.
That is right.
That's a little inside joke from earlier today.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much. Mayor Knight, members of council, distinguished guests, it's a pleasure to be with you tonight to talk about a draft municipal order that authorizes HWEA to submit to the Kentucky Public Service Commission a tariff sheet and request for rate change on behalf of our wholesale rate customer, the Christian County Water District. The PSC has jurisdiction over all wholesale customers and their rates. And so what we are asking for is administrative approval in order to begin that process. I have with me tonight Daniel Lancaster. He is our Director of Water, and he's got a short presentation for you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Derek, and council and mayor. For this municipal order, we just wanted to give you a little background. We've given this presentation to the County Water District and their Board of Commissioners. And so we wanted to also give it to you to answer any kind of questions, any kind of time a rate change happens. We want to give you as much information as possible. And so our company at a glance, HWA, has been around since 1895. We serve Hopkinsville, Crofton, Pembroke, water and wastewater, in the city of Oak Grove for just wastewater only. And we've got about 90 full-time employees, currently the 8th largest municipal water utility in Kentucky with a little over 16,000 customers. For last year, we produced about 2.78 billion gallons of drinking water. And clean water, that's our new term for wastewater, treated about 1.29 billion gallons of wastewater. Got lots of force count projects, scope of work projects there that you can see. And those are projects where we're extending water mains, we're doing improvements. So we've got about 9 awards and recognitions. You all were kind enough last month to let us come talk about those. We are very proud of the job we do, and we believe we do an excellent job on it. And we also do it safely. We've been over, at the end of 2023, over 1,500 days without a lost time accident. And right now we're a little over 1,800 days without a lost time accident. And we also sell a little natural gas. This map it's busy and it's kind of big, but it just shows our visioning of how we look at projects. The first one was our raw water intake from Lake Barkley to our water treatment plant, which just ensure that we have a reliable raw water source so that we can provide Hopkinsville and our customers with drinking water. Currently, we're on our phase 4, which is down 41A of putting in a bigger water line there to service the South Park Industrial Park. Next, after that, we'll be looking at treatment plant projects, which will be our phase 5. Here's some of the awards we've won. You all have seen these, but also just to focus on this year, we did win the Medium Water Plant Excellent Award for the Kentucky and Tennessee AWWA. Here's some more awards that we've won since 2012. And also, I mentioned our safety record. We've been have a distinguished safety record where we've been recognized with 2 national safety awards in the past 5 years. So the purpose of this presentation, we want to look at HWEA's and the Christian County Water District's history. We want to present the wholesale rate history to you, review our contracts with the Christian County Water District, and look at the consumption, sales, and population growth with the Christian County Water District. Review how our production costs have changed, have increased over the past few years. We're going to look at our water sale wholesale rate study. We'll look at how that compares with our neighbors in the PAD region, and present a strategy going forward to implement the rate changes. Our history: the city of Hopkinsville and HWEA have been in support of the Christian County Water District since its beginning. Some of these old news articles we found show that, even though they took a few years to get off the ground, that the city of Hopkinsville and us have been in support of their mission to provide drinking water to the county residents. And it's a partnership that's been going on for over 51 years. Our contract, the original contract, was in 1973. Since then, we've had 7 contract extensions and amendments, with the last one being in 2016. There have also been 8 rate changes since 1973, with the last one of those being in 2010. We've also had 7 territory transfer, 4 agreements, and 3 water main extensions. This slide just shows the rate changes since the 1973 contract, where it began as 41 cents per 1,000 gallons to today. We charge $2.51 to the water district for water. Part of that current terms and contract is we have a 42-year contract with them that we signed in 2016. We have agreed to provide them up to 2 million gallons a day of drinking water, or up to 49 million gallons per month. There's also part of that is a transmission fee that we use their water lines to get to Crofton's, where we serve our customers in Crofton. And there you can see our current rates for, it's a 3-tiered rate system for selling the water to them, with the first of 22,000 gallons being $3.95, up to down to $2.51 for the top tier. And again, our last rate change was in July 2nd of 2010. So we've been over 14 years without a rate change. And that map shows that 2010 or $2.51 for our top tier as the last rate increase. And the water district has done a good job expanding their customers. This slide just shows their growth since our last water increase in 2010. And they've also, on average, consumed more water from us. They've bought a little more water from us on average every year. And so we're going to start talking about our expenses. Everybody has felt the pressure from inflation, and as well as we have. One of our biggest cost increases, our labor. Since 2010, we've had a 151% increase in labor at our water treatment plant. And so we put in there, the starting rate for our certified operator in 2010 was $12.40 an hour. And today we start our certified operators at $24 an hour. So I want to put that in there to show that even though we've almost doubled our rate since then, that is a reasonable rate for somebody that is in charge of public health and treating your water at the plant. Our chemicals have seen a 62% increase since 2010. Our water plant electricity there at the plant has gone up 38%. And our raw water electricity has gone up 123%. That would be our pumps at the Lake Barkley intake, as well as our north and south quarries. This graph just gives you another visual of how our expenses have gone up. And so the purpose of the wholesale rate study, as we felt it necessary to do so that we could review our operating cost and ensure that a fair and equitable wholesale rate is had, And for us, a fair and equitable rate means that our city customers aren't carrying the load for our county customers and vice versa. You know, we have costs and we want those costs to be fairly split between our wholesale customers and our city customers. And we chose HDR Engineering to conduct that study. They performed that this year. HDR is known for doing rate studies, and that's why we went with them. And that rate study looks at all eligible expenses such as raw water, the cost of water treatment, distribution, master meters, meter reading, and account administration, as well as any kind of depreciation. So some of the proposed wholesale rate changes that we would like to do is drop the 3 tiers to do just 2 tiers. We feel that's a more straightforward and simple rate, is to have just 2 instead of 3. We'd like to add a $30 monthly meter charge, and that will just cover an annual testing of each meter so that we're not underbilling or overbilling our customer. And as well as getting the PSC to approve the 2% pilot fee for any kind of in-city master meters, which there's only 2 at Pleasant View and Caskey Lane. So the recommendation that the rate study found would bring up the rate, and we'd like to do that in a 2-step change to try to level the increases and not do that all at once. So for the first tier, we are proposing to do a $5.80 per 1,000 gallon, and anything over 45,000 gallons, $3.39 at July 1st of 25. And then at July 1st of 2026, raise that up to $4.25 per 1,000 gallons. And this, you've got a handout there in front of you that Derek passed out. But this shows that if we just took a 3.32% increase every year, that would get us to the rate that we're proposing. You know, that's just to show that, you know, because it's been so long since we've had a rate increase, that year over year that rate increase would be reasonable. And here's how we compare currently to the pad water wholesalers. You can see that currently we're one of the cheapest, with the exception of Dawson Springs. We are the cheapest. With the rate increase, we would be, you know, in the neighborhood of South Hopkins to Madisonville Light and Water. And so for our next steps, we've already met with the Christian County Water District and presented to them. So today we're presenting it with you and then asking for a municipal order to pursue this next city council meeting on December 3rd. We would like to finalize any kind of negotiation with the Christian County Water District on January 15th. Give them a little time to review the study and ask questions and get whoever they want to look at that, and hopefully be able to submit that study and tariff sheet to the Public Service Commission on January 15th. The PSC will also review it to make sure that what we say is making sense, and give that. Hopefully they can approve that, and we can start our first rate increase on July 1st of 25, have our second rate increase on July 1st of 2026. Any questions or comments on that?
May I ask a question? Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for all that you do. The $30 monthly fee per meter, is that per customer?
No, that would be for each master meter to the county.
And how many are there of those?
13.
13, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I was $360 a year. I was thinking that would be pretty, but 13 of them is totally reasonable. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody, any other questions for Daniel?
I don't really have a question, but I just want to clarify. This has nothing to do with people, customers, your customers. This is Christian County Water District customers.
This is our rate to Christian County Water District, so it does not affect any city city residential or commercial or kennels. Yes, sir.
I know I'm gonna get that call.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you know it, yeah. Yeah. So, other comments, I'd make a motion to pass along to council.
I got a motion from Don, second from Travis. Any further discussion on it? All in favor of sending MO to council?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good job, I guess.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna call on Steve Futrell for our quarterly fire department, and since Steve, I gotta call him quick because he's always passed out of the gate. And Steve, to avoid any awkward stares or confusion this time, you have B and C, just roll right through it. Just tell us where one is.
Okay, all right,
Just don't wait for me to call you if you're already there.
gotcha. All right. Good evening, everybody. We're going to go through our quarterly fire department report here. For our fire division, we ended up with this quarter with a little over 1,000 runs, with the majority of those being emergency medical calls. We had 8 residential fires, which is kind of a lot for this time of year. Usually those are more in the winter when we have those, but we did have 8 residential fires through the summer there. We had 36 fires, 18 outside fires, 45 motor vehicle collisions. But the thing here is the 3 motor vehicle collisions involving pedestrians is where a vehicle hit a pedestrian. So we noted that. We had public events. This is just a short list. We run public events all through the summer. As y'all know, y'all see the firefighters golf scramble. It's the second year we've done that. We raised a ton of money for charity with that. Our firefighter association does that, and saw several of y'all out there, so we appreciate that. We're able to give back to charity with that association. It's a nonprofit. We had Lieutenant Spence Sal, who retired. We promoted Bobby Hogue, and we did have a 3-person academy. Those were people that worked for us already in the EMS division that transferred over to the fire division. And then also today we had an anniversary of myself, but also engineer Mike Wilson. Mike Wilson has been an engineer for a long time. He's been with the city for 25 years and actually started with the city before that in another department and came to the fire department 25 years ago. So that was a big deal. For our EMS division, we are very busy with over 3,000 calls, with the majority of those being 911 response calls in the city. I will also say, but before I go to this next part, as we all know, with the billing company has been an issue where we're 4 months into it now, and we have a good feel of how that's going. We are on track to finish the year $2 million revenue above expenses. So even though there was some heartache with the change, and we're still having issues with the other billing company that was cyber attacked. We're still having issues. We still have money out there with them and still dealing with that. But this new billing company has gone far above what they said that they would do. And a big part of that is because of the work that our people do, our officers and our people around ambulances, and the extra miles that they go and the extra things that they do. So I just wanted to bring that up. Also, this is a new program for us. It's a hybrid paramedic program that we are starting here in Hopkinsville. This is the first time this has ever been done anywhere. We are starting to receive some state accolades and some national recognition for this program. It starts in January. And what this is because of our TEI, that the state is allowing us to try this program. We have 100% pass rate in Hopkinsville for our paramedic program. Chief Ferguson, my EMS chief, and my EMS instructor, Michael Cornett, are top notch in the state, and that is proven. Chief Ferguson now sits on a state board and he has pushed this. We are going to run this program throughout the entire state. The picture here it was months ago. I need to update this. We have 156 applicants for this paramedic program. In 20 and 23, the entire state made 60 paramedics. In the entire state, 60 paramedics. And the state is losing 100 paramedics a year. It is a national shortage of paramedics. It's because they go to other jobs, or they find different money, or they retire. So we knew that we had to do something. We have 16 partner agencies that we're running this with. It'll be held here in Hopkinsville out of our building. and it'll be satellite stations for other people to do it online. And of course, they have to do their, their checkups too for their skill stuff. But we are starting this program in January. It's the first ever. The state is on it. We're starting to have other states reach out to us to figure out how we're going to do it, because it will make not only a difference to us, but a huge difference to these rural communities that have no medics. The majority, 50%, or well, I say 50%, it's probably like 80%. I lost that number, but medics are in that Lexington, Louisville, Frankfort area. That's where they all stay. There are no medics that are being made in Eastern Kentucky. There are no medics that are being made in Western Kentucky, far Western Kentucky. So this is a huge program, huge accolades to Chief Ferguson and Michael Cornett, who are spearheading this. And it's going to be great, not only for the state, huge for our department, but everywhere. So just very, very happy about that, and wanted to throw that out there. Are there any questions about fire EMS before I go to codes? All right. So for our code enforcement, again, we're very busy. We had 174 incidents for the quarter, with 53 of those being complaint driven. I'll talk about that in a second. 13 vehicles, 342 property standards, and 31 property maintenance. Property maintenance are unsafe structures, building things, and those nature. Property standards are more of your grass, trash, and weeds and stuff of those, which is the biggest majority of what we do. Also, we put this out. We're going to keep putting it out. Call us to report a concern, or go to hoptown.org/codes. It's very easy. You can do it. It's anonymous. Call us. We'll come. This is starting just now to take traction. We did some meetings this month with Ms. Holly and Melissa, and we talked to some people about land bank and some other things and codes. And some of those meetings went well over an hour. We did those at the Boys and Girls Club, and then somewhere else. I can't remember where we did it, but several of y'all were there. And those meetings were very good. And not only did we have good questions there at that meeting, but over the next few days, we were able to address some issues and clear up some things, and just for some conciseness of what we do and what we're doing. And that's all I have. And before I ask if you got any questions, I will also say yesterday I spent some time at the Weather Spotters building. If you have not been out there, please go by the Weather Spotters building. What they're doing out there is amazing. They have changed that place. They're doing some construction inside. It looks nice, but the software that they have now is phenomenal. The information that they'll be able to get us is top notch. We went out there planning on about 15 minutes and spent a couple hours out there with Dave Powell. And you can tell they're excited. They're excited about what they're doing. And so are we. They're going to be able to give us more detailed information than anywhere else. They have a YouTube channel now that they go live when they have these weather events. And they're a nonprofit for their weather spotters, and they've got lots of volunteers. So go out there and look at what they're doing. And they're making a difference to our community, and it's good stuff. So I was extremely impressed with what they got going on out there. And that's all I have, unless there's any questions.
Any questions?
Yeah, I thought I might just
Yes,
ask
sir.
real quickly, the prior PowerPoint slide that we saw that had the ways for citizens to report
Yes.
concerns, is that only on the hoptown.org/codes site, or?
Yeah, there, or you can go to our social media, to our code enforcement Facebook page. It's on there as well.
I was going to maybe
Yeah.
ask, the city manager,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah, it's on this.
Ms. Brunt, Amanda, she's
Yeah.
put that out.
We put that out a lot, and we put it out every so often. We'll blast it out, but it's also on the city, on the front page. It's on our fire department page. It's on the code Facebook page.
Okay.
So yeah, we're trying to put it out as much as we can.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
really great. I mean, you guys are doing a great job, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
EMS side, that $2 million in revenue over budget, does that include paying back the $500,000 to the city?
No,
Okay,
it will not.
Okay.
So we have that.
but it's there.
Yes, we'll end up 1.5 million
Okay.
in revenue. Yes. And we're planning on paying that back in April. That's the way that was set up. It has to be paid back in one lump sum. I have $1.6 million in the bank right now. So at our last board meeting, we decided to pay that in April. So that'll come up, get that paid off before there's any penalty in one payment. All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's call on Council Member Jamie Leinenberger for a monthly agency and board council appointee report.
All right, well, thank you, Chairman. We had a lot going on. One of the boards that I sit on, I think one of the funnest board that I sit on is Jeffers Bend. So we had a lot going on this year due to some health problems. I missed the October meeting, but there was a lot of things going on at the Bend. The Environmental Center, we still are taking donations for bricks. If you have a family member or someone you'd like to honor, we're working on a patio. So there's bricks at a $100 range on the wall. They're about $250. So we're raising money for that to have a patio there. The Honorable Order of Kentucky Colonels awarded the Bend a little over $6,000 for a storage shed out at the Bend. So we've got that working on. The walking trail around the lake, we've been working on that, and HWA has been providing maintenance and stuff for that. So that's doing great. Master gardeners came out this summer and they did a lot of work working on the garden, adding some area to it. There's about 120 by 6 foot new planting area there. The butterfly garden is ongoing. If you've ever been to that, that's amazing. During the month of April, we had all the educational out there. We had 45 fourth graders and we had about 60 sixth graders out there. So that was a huge thing during the early part of the school year. Take the kids fishing, that was about 100 children and 100 adults, and that was pretty cool. That went out. We had the benefit for the Bend during June. September, we had the Nature Fest. If you went out to that, that was a lot of fun. A lot of people were there for that. And we had the torchlight trails, and then Christmas at the Bend, which is coming up. So that will be on December 7th from 11 to 1. We're expecting about 200 people to participate in that. You can come out, make Christmas cards with your family and do all sorts of stuff with that. And there's a whole bunch of other things that went on, but we've got some partnerships. We've got some projects that are looking at being worked on here, even in Christian County with the watershed and some of the rivers. So there's a lot going on there. And the library, they're working on their renovations and things like that. So things are progressing and things are good.
Well, y'all got a lot going on.
We do. I like the Bend. If you've never been, you just
It's a great place.
pick a day and go, whether it's a special event or not. It's handicap friendly. I take my mama and it's really good. It's a lot of fun for the environment and for the citizens here of Hopkinsville. It's a really great place to go.
It's a good place just to
go.
get away from everything without going out of town.
Exactly. And
It
there's
really is.
the pavilion out there that we raise money for. So there's a pavilion. So you can take your own little lunch and go sit out there and have lunch and hang out.
I might take a big lunch.
There you go. Thank you,
right.
Chairman.
I don't need anything, Martin. All right. We have no unfinished business, so we're going to jump right down there to new business. I'm going to call on Ms. Melissa Clayton for discussion on some FEMA funds. Thank you.
Good evening. You guys should have had this in your seat tonight. We are asking that you decide where you would like to use the grant funds from DR 4702 that we collected back last year. In February, you guys kind of took that money and sent it to future funding, but we're kind of asking you to decide where you would like it to go. We are making a recommendation of putting it to Pardue Lane Park, and that is pretty much our recommendation. So I'm happy to answer questions if you guys want to have some discussion.
Any questions, or we can entertain a motion to send it on?
I'll make a motion.
Ooh, I'm going to do this. We're going to go Jamie on the motion. We're going to go Amy on the second because they tied. I see you got a question. Fire away on your question. Because I'm getting ready to say any discussion.
Yeah, thank you. How much funding does that actually leave on the Pardue Lane Park project? North
We
and south?
actually have that out for rebid right now. It was in today's paper. The bid openings will be December 5th. The last time our low bid was 2 million, 1.6. So this will put us at 1,405,000 excluding the park, the playground, and we have 100,000 towards the playground. So that's where we are.
Okay. Do we anticipate, or is it unforeseen whether we would anticipate that the Party Lane Park or the Rotary Park, whatever you want to call it, would come back to the city for additional funding still?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're 200,000 short, so this will give us 1,405,000. So if the bids stay at where they were last time at 1.6, we would still be 200,000 short.
I kind of had the understanding, I don't want to, be a nudge or whatever, but I kind of had an understanding that maybe some additional fundraising might take place to help offset some of the cost of this.
I think the additional fundraising is for the playground,
It's because it's more like special.
but
it's like
this
called
bid
special
does
needs.
not include the playground.
Yeah.
All inclusive, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, all in favor of passing the MO on the council, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Thank you,
very
guys.
much, Ms. Clayton.
That's good.
Now we're gonna call on, there he comes, he's out of his seat, he's around the corner, Gary Rubush. Gonna talk about the operational budget amendment. You getting up quicker than you used to, Gary. You've been watching Steve.
Good evening. I'm bringing forward, I didn't hit that button. I'm bringing forward the operational budget amendment number 2. As you can see, prior year revenues are being requested of $1,859,916. That covers those expenses of the liability insurance, which is Ray has gone up, cybersecurity insurance premium, also the bond payment, interest payment for Fire Station 5 that we took out, a transfer to capital for the fire tower of $998,741, and a transfer to the Fire Station 5 fund, and that covers for the furniture, landscaping, and equipment. And that is $643,500. And that equals, as I said, the $1,859,916. Are there any questions on those expenses?
Chuck?
Does this completely finish the fire station?
Yes.
Let me ask you again, does this complete the fire station road?
Yes, right now, it completes the fire station, no more, anything cannot be added to it, we're not adding anything else, it's all built, Steve, no more.
Do you need to send that over to Powell?
That was the day about it. And the contract. No, this is-
Do the other ones need remodeled? So does that thing there need to stop leaking? Have these buildings been taken care of over the years?
No.
Frankly, they're not. These are breathing organisms, and we are never gonna stop coming back to this council for these buildings.
I get that, but I was talking about the new fire station. I want to be sure we're not coming back. We're done.
Right now, the new fire station should be taken care of. But just like right now, we're dealing with the weak hose on this building, that the water coming back in, got the roof put leaking, but we have the weak hose on the side of the building for the water coming in instead of out. And that's where this is coming from. I will go over to Station 5, we have a parking lot issue that we're going to have to address. The roof issue over there, we've got to address. We have a lot going on. You're going to hear from the fire station again coming here in the next couple of months because we have 2 fire engines down that we've got in the shop. He completed his budget on his maintenance fund. Things that you will be hearing on this coming up before long. Okay? But as far as Station 5, we should be through.
Make a motion to pass along.
No, we've already got it all on the floor.
Do it.
Didn't it?
Question.
That is on the floor.
All right, for the rest of,
Okay, wait, I got confused, I'm sorry.
yeah, it wasn't quite
I
done.
was back another, my bad.
No, you're fine.
I'm turning my mic off.
For the second part, for the additional revenue required, it is also prior revenue, but it has been earmarked as the pension reserve fund. That will be expensed as the transfer to KLC Investment Fund, and the investment board decided to invest in the Kentucky League of Cities investment pool, and that's where those funds would be dedicated to. Any questions on that?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah, I'm
had this
sorry, Don-
discussion.
Don,
I
you
think
can
it's a
get the-
great idea to give it a shot
Yeah,
and
sure.
kind of see how it goes. So, yeah, make that motion to pass along.
Yeah, Don gets the motion. I
Second.
got lost. Travis gets the second. I apologize. I don't know where my
No, it's all
brain
good,
went.
man.
All right, so we got a motion, second on the floor. Any more discussion? All in favor, forwarding to council?
Aye.
Any opposed? I should have got it. I got up this morning, went hunting early. I probably should have got a nap somewhere. I
That's
apologize. So now we're gonna move on into your capital budget, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir. For the capital budget amendment, as you'll see, the $998,741, along with the surplus we had from the initial budget of the year of $1,259, totaling $1 million, which was will be the expense of the Fire Station 5 fire tower. And that was pretty simple.
Any questions? We'll get this one right. All right. I know, motion. Anybody?
I'll make that motion.
I got
Second.
Amy. I got Don. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good job, Gary.
Thank you, sir. Have a good
Only
evening.
one to mess that up was me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that rounds out new business. Anybody have any other business to discuss this evening? Seeing none, I'll entertain that motion we all like to make to adjourn.
Second.
That Travis, I got Amy. All in favor of going home, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed to going home? We're adjourned.